What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's another show. Unfortunately, it's not the best news. And what I want to talk about today is this whole Ukrainian-Russia war thing we got going on. It's already hot and it's just getting hotter. Now, the most recent development is that Biden has authorized the use of U.S. military weapon systems by Ukraine to launch missiles into Russia. And yes, these weapon systems were developed in this country by Lockheed Martin. These weapon systems are referred to as ATACMS, which stands for, the acronym is ATACMS, stands for Army Tactical Missile Systems. These are being sold to Ukraine or given to Ukraine, most likely paid for with, yes, yours truly, your tax dollars, given to Ukraine for the Ukrainian military to launch long-range missile strikes on Russia. And from what I can see, they're targeting very strategic military targets within Russia, as in, munitions depots. Why are they doing this? This is a provocation. They are provoking Putin. Why? Because these globalists, these neocons, both on the Republican side and the Democratic side, want world war. Why? I have no idea. Why would they do something like this? This is insane. Why are we in war? Why are we doing world wars in 2024, going into 2025? These people are nihilists. They're psychopaths. As a matter of fact, I have some clips I found online of some of this footage of these missiles going off in Russia. Check this out. That is a big explosion. Just real quick, but just from the looks of those explosions, you can see what's going down over there. This is no joke. Those are massive weapons being used on Russia, and we're supplying those weapons. This is courtesy of the Biden administration. These are some warmongering fools. And the funny thing is, I believe Biden made this authorization back on November 17th. And soon after, Trump had a response, more like an emergency warning, making reference to World War III. Check out Trump's response to the authorization of these use of this weaponry in Ukraine.
We have never been closer to World War III than we are today under Joe Biden. A global conflict between nuclear-armed powers would mean death and destruction on a scale unmatched in human history. It would be nuclear Armageddon. Nothing is more important than avoiding that nightmare. We will avoid it, but we need new leadership. Every day this proxy battle in Ukraine continues, we risk global war. We must be absolutely clear that our objective is to immediately have a total cessation of hostilities. All shooting has to stop. This is the central issue. We need peace without delay. In addition, there must also be a complete commitment to dismantling the entire globalist neocon establishment that is perpetually dragging us into endless wars, pretending to fight for freedom and democracy abroad, while they turn us into a third world country and a third world dictatorship right here at home. The State Department, the defense bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and all of the rest need to be completely overhauled and reconstituted to fire the deep staters and put America first. We have to put America first. Finally, we have to finish the process we began under my administration of fundamentally reevaluating NATO's purpose and NATO's mission. Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves and some of the horrible USA-hating people that represent us. It's the abolition of our national borders. It's the failure to police our own cities. It's the destruction of the rule of law from within. It's the collapse of the nuclear family and fertility rates like nobody can believe is happening. It's the Marxists who would have us become a godless nation worshiping at the altar of race and gender and environment. And it's the globalist class that has made us totally dependent on China and other foreign countries that basically hate us. These globalists want to squander all of America's strength, blood, and treasure, chasing monsters and phantoms overseas while keeping us distracted from the havoc they're creating right here at home. These forces are doing more damage to America than Russia and China could ever have dreamed. Evicting this sick and corrupt establishment is the monumental task for the next president. And I am the only one who can do it. I'm the only one that can get the job done. I know exactly what has to be done.
Yeah, that was Trump's response right after Biden made the authorization. And he knows what's up. He's already been in here for 4 years. He knows Putin. He knows Russia. He knows what's going on. And this war needs to stop. And whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump, it doesn't matter. Someone needs to step up and make for sure that peace is the priority right now. We do not need to be going to no World War III. Every provocation, every time something like this happens where we are arming Ukraine for them to fire missiles into Russia, we are inching that much closer to a potential nuclear conflict. Doesn't nobody want anything to do with any type of nuclear conflict? You are not ready for that. No one in this globe is ready for that. That will unleash a level of devastation and destruction that you can't even comprehend. It's unthinkable. Why are we even in this condition? These people are psychopaths, absolute psychopaths. Now, I actually wanted to bring up one other clip that was on Fox News where they're kind of adding some more information, giving you some more insights to about what exactly is going on with Ukraine and what you can look for going to in the future with this conflict, because it's getting out of control. Check this out.
First, let's go to Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Jennifer.
Harris, President Biden's decision, I'm told by a senior U.S. official, was spurred by the Russian decision to invite 10,000 North Korean soldiers into the fight against Ukraine in Kursk in western Russia along the Ukraine border. A second U.S. official adds it's not clear at this point whether the president plans to authorize the use of the ATACMS, or American Long Range Strike Weapons, beyond the Kursk region. President Zelensky applauded the long-awaited decision in his nightly address. Ukraine's leaders have been pushing for this permission for over a year and a half. President Zelensky said, "Much is being said in the media about us receiving permission for the relevant actions, but strikes are not made with words. Such things are not announced. The missiles," he said, "will speak for themselves. Glory to Ukraine." ATACMS stands for Army Tactical Missile System. It's a supersonic ballistic missile that can strike targets up to 190 miles away and carries a warhead with 375 pounds of explosives. It flies higher into the atmosphere than artillery rockets and uses gravity to come back to ground at a very high speed. It can reach further into Russia than any other Ukrainian missile. It was developed in the 1980s to destroy high-value Soviet targets and can be fired from mobile HIMARS launchers the U.S. has already sent to Ukraine and M270 launchers sent from Britain and Germany. The ATACMS is made by Lockheed Martin. Members of President-elect Trump's own family have said he would likely reverse this authorization. Other senior Republicans have argued this is the best way to strengthen Ukraine's hand at the negotiating table as Russia gears up to retake Kursk and push further into Ukraine with the help of thousands of North Korean troops. Harris.
Jennifer, real quick before I let you go, I've got, the incoming U.S. ambassador to the United States now for the UN, Mike Huckabee, and I want to be able to get into this a little bit. So do we take serious Russia's, it sounds like a threat, when they tell us that don't do this. So do we take that seriously? What would they do about it? Do we know?
Well, Russia has been threatening to escalate since the very beginning of the conflict, and they have been threatening to use tactical nukes. They've not done so in this case, but that has always been the concern of the Biden administration, not wanting to allow Ukraine to use U.S. weapons on Russian territory or in Crimea for fear of Putin making good on his threats to use tactical nukes.
So there it is. We have Biden a couple days ago authorizing the use of these U.S. military systems, these ATACMS, these long-range missile systems, given to Ukraine for them to launch long-range missile strikes into Russia. This is nuts. This is doing nothing but inching us closer and closer and closer to a major global conflict. This is nuts because it's not just going to be the United States, Ukraine, and Russia involved. It's going to bring in the other players. You got Iran, you have the Chinese. I mean, give me a break. This needs to stop and it needs to be de-escalated. And if Trump's willing to do it, he needs to do it. But what we need to be worried about is the fact that he's not in office for basically another 2 months. And so it seems as if these people are pushing this agenda, these neocons, this military industrial complex is pushing this as hard as they can before Trump gets in the office, because it seems like they wanted to bring us into some major conflict. So Trump is forced to have to deal with it or continue to funnel money into this conflict. That's what it seems like. So I'm not sure what you think about this, but to me, war is wrong. Period. There is no place for it, whether it be here, whether it be Israel and Hamas. Any of the wars, they all need to come to an end now, because this is going to grow into something much bigger, and it's not going to benefit anyone in this planet. It doesn't benefit anyone but those select few individuals who profit from this and who want global control. The deep state, the globalists. You've heard these names all before. You should know by now what's up. And if you don't, you're asleep. So anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this whole Ukraine-Russia thing. It's getting out of control. It's heating up, and it needs to be de-escalated immediately, because we do not need no global conflict of any kind. No World War III, no nuclear war. We really don't need no nuclear war. You got to be kidding me. Nobody wants nukes popping off in their backyard, and none of you are prepared. None of you could even handle that. Nobody. I don't care how rich you are, where you're at on this planet. It will affect everybody, and it's not even an option. We shouldn't even be talking about that in modern times. Nuclear war, I mean, what sense does that make? It's completely nihilistic. It's craziness. It's outright psychopathy. It makes no sense. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Anyways, that's about it for this show. Thanks for tuning in. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. It helps the channel grow. Yeah, I'm going to see you at the next show. Thanks for tuning in.